Page 12, theme from Piano Concerto No. 21 by Mozart, another very famous melody. Remember, theme is the same as a melody for our purposes. This melody is in the second movement. It's gorgeous. I encourage you to go listen to it. Go listen to the real thing. Common time or 4/4 time. There's one flat in the key signature. We're in F major or D minor. If you look at the end at the bottom of page 13, it's here. Now that looks like it makes no sense. I'll explain it in a minute. The point is it's an F chord, so I'm guessing we're in F major here. In the left hand, we're finger pedaling these. You see the two, you hold that down. All the way through. You're doing this throughout quite a bit, if not the whole thing. Looks like the whole right hand's the melody. And these 16th notes are in between the 8th notes now. In the second line, second measure, I suggest you do a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you reach up for the D. This way, we cover all of these notes in one hand position. I don't have to cross the finger, or don't cross over the thumb or all that. Just here. 2, 3, 4, and then reach up a little finger. Now on the bottom staff, we went to treble clef at the end of the line. See, so now we're in treble clef. That's an A there at the third line. Now, just to make things more interesting, go to Mozart, in the upper staff, they give you bass clef. Well, you're still treble clef so now you're crossing over to hit that. You're in this position. Well, there's nothing confusing about that, is there? Reach. So you're going to have to get off that early enough to get down there, but don't get off of it any sooner than you have to. No quickie jerk movements, but get off it a little. Treble clef and bass clef, treble clef. See, they can change clef signs anywhere. A time signature, they got to do that at a bar line somewhere. Key signatures, that happens at bar lines too. But a clef sign can change anywhere, as you can see right here. Last line on page 12, you're starting out here, bass clef, and then treble clef. That trill I'll come back to. Just play that. Now, we got bass clef in the left hand now, so you go here. And you do that again. It's pretty much the same on page 13. Go through and work out the fingerings, and the rhythm shouldn't be a problem as long as you get the 16th notes in there and you're not hesitating anywhere. This 8th note pulse has to be steady all the way through. So get rid of the hesitations. As far as articulation goes, it's connected again. Connect all that. They're showing new slurs, page 12, first line, last measure. No, connect all that together. Connect all that too. That's all one phrase, it's all one thought. Connect it all. You have to listen to the music. Does it make more sense to lift up or not lift up? And in this case, don't lift up. It's pretty much connected. The left hand you played as connected as you can. You can't, but you do the best. Dynamics goes to the melody. That's moderately soft, so you have a choice. At the beginning, they're showing you moderately soft. Well, moderately soft applies to the melody. There is no melody in the first measure. So you can play this moderately soft if you want. Whatever you think moderately soft is, it's sort of soft. It's on the soft side. Not soft, just sort of soft. But then when the melody comes in, it takes over, which means the left hand needs to get soft. Can you go from moderately soft to soft all of a sudden? If you can, that works. you can say, okay, it's moderately soft at the beginning, and I know it applies to the melody, and I know the first measure is not melody, so I can play the first measure soft, since it's not melody, and that way I don't have to adjust anything when the melody comes in at moderately soft. It's another way of looking at it. Or, I'll give you options here. Start it out at moderately soft, and then come down to soft on the second one. Just get a little softer. So by the time you get to the next measure, the left hand's soft already. So it's a little softer, soft now. When you get down here, because it's easier to drown out. This just automatically gets louder. So you have to make an effort to keep that soft. If it isn't working for you on soft, then try and play it very soft. Exaggerate it. Now you get down to the third line. They want this moderately loud. For the melody, keep the left hand soft. So it's... Yes, this is the right hand's melody. Here the trill. Now there's a note at the bottom to start the trill on E, because the trill's back on well, I do most trills this way anyway. I start them on the upper note, because you have two notes in a trill. A lower note, also the main note, that's the note given in the music, and the upper note or auxiliary note is the next note up in the scale, whatever key you're in. And you alternate them. Your fingering, you can do this, 2, 3, you can do a 2, 1, 3. The kicker with trills is they gotta be smooth and they gotta be even. If it's an uncontrolled where it's just a shake, that's a different story. I don't like uncontrolled trills, I don't use them, and I certainly wouldn't use it in Mozart. Mozart is very clean and controlled. So play it rhythmically. You can do 16th notes if you need to, because you've been doing about done. Now if you can go twice that fast, that's fine. Here. I'm playing 4 notes on each. And this just stuck on the end. If you can't go that fast, then you play 16th notes. Yeah, it doesn't work out at the end, because you have to adjust that, because the F needs to be on the beat. So you adjust it as you need to. Now some instruments, like a violin, they might put a little hold on the last, it would go here. They would hold that last note out before the little turn thing at the end. But piano players usually don't do that. We just trill all the way through and then stick the turn on the end, and if we adjust the rhythm as we need to. I mean, you can play triplets. Can you do that? Play around with the trill and see what you think. There's a trill at the bottom of page 13. Do both trills the same way. However you do one, you do the other too. Speed, it's about how fast I've been going. Lento is slow, and cantabile is lightly, singingly gentle. Don't go real slow, because that drags it. That just drags it. It doesn't work with piano very well. You gotta go fast enough it flows, but don't go real fast. And if you're wondering, if you've been watching, every time I play this first line in the right hand, I use a different fingering. The fingering in the book is fine. I don't like it because this is awkward here. I don't like that. But I can do here and then a 4 and then a 2. However, take these notes all together and you have an F chord, that's the fingering for the F chords, the second position, second version. So I could just use that fingering here, and I don't. Everywhere I get that, I can use that same fingering. That's typically what I do in this case. You learn to recognize the chords. It's like a broken chord in the music, and you'll just finger it. If you've been doing the arpeggios like you're supposed to, I got videos on. This fingering is in one of the arpeggios. It's in the arpeggio for the triads built on the note C. If you look at the triadics built on C, this is in there. And that fingering is it. Now we need pedal, because we want to connect everything, and we want the overtones. You got plenty of time to hear it. We want the overtones. We don't want it to get mushy. I'm going to push the notes down first and then the pedal. And then change. After I play the notes, now here in the first measure, the last measure, the first line here, they're changing the pedal. You don't have to. You can leave the pedal down until the 16th notes. Now, on the second line, last measure, I don't pedal the first eighth note because I don't want that, not even for an instant. So I just don't pedal it. So the last two measures there. That's fine. Just don't pedal that one thing. And the same thing in the third line, second measure. I don't pedal the eighth note there. I don't need it, and I don't want to. It goes by so quick. I don't need overtones on that eighth note, so I just don't pedal it. And if you don't pedal the first, you don't need to change it. Then on the second, it's just you can both of those. You don't need to change it for those two B flats. So again. Change it in the last measure here because you're decrescendoing. I want to lose that. I change it. I think that's an error. I think they meant to put a change pedal in there and didn't do it because the right hand's a half note. You don't want it sounding through the whole measure. And then the next page is the same thing basically. So that's my impression of the pedal. So there's a little spots. I take the pedal out, and you have to listen very carefully to what the pedal is doing and the effect it has. There's a ritardando at the end. You slow down here. If you feel it, it's more of an interpretation thing. It was typical to slow down at the end of a piece. Not saying you have to, but it's in there. You can do that. And then it ends very softly. The fermato you just hold out as long as you think you need to hold it out, and then lift it up.